Hi guys, Bob Robinson here of the Robinson Twins. It's day 3 of the 2023 Arch Rally, Spring Arch Rally. Day 3, Monday, April 17th. Campground area of Valley of Fire State Park is how it's listed. There's arches right here next to the road where we're parked. This is the Scenic Loop Road. I saw a sign back there that said Recreation Photography Area. Well, there are plenty of arches. There's one already there, a bunch there, and we're still right next to the road, just getting started. The location for the day 3 hike of the Arch Rally was back of the campground in Valley of Fire State Park. One of the first arches, sticking through to a pillar on the other side. And then everybody's climbing up to these triple arches up here. So we're just getting started. Here's a magnificent series of arches right next to the loop road.
With the two guys that map
One more. I'm going to do one more.
Here's a little baby pillar arch.
You need to get down low.
Right after the start of the trip.
Down low. Can you do that?
Yeah, we moved over to that point.
There we go. There we go.
I guess so.
What she said. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't think.
Check this one out. Pillar, pillar, pillar. Another pillar arch with little openings all over. And from this triple pillar arch that we just came to, there's an arch right there. And above the group, there's this one on the horizon.
Yeah, they got found out, but I don't know if they had.
Look at this. That's quite the arches. Here on the back side of that previous arch is this double, or is it a triple? Look at this delicate looking pillar arch. There's another one right down there. There's another one on the edge of this formation. Here's a closer look at that one that we've been seeing earlier. It's right on the skyline. Another pillar.
Charlie,
Yes.
move that way.
Well, I ended up working a lot.
Well, at our condo complex,
That is Speedboat Arch.
and
Next to Speedboat is this unnamed arch. It's a double pillar. Looks like. Okay, here's a closer look at Speedboat Arch. And I can actually see an arch through this arch. There's that skyline arch we've been seeing since we turned off. Just seeing it through Speedboat Arch. So this is why this hike today was labeled as Campground Area. So there's one of the units of the campgrounds in Valley Fire State Park. And here we are scrambling over the rocks.
I was up there and could see the thin pillar through that
pillar arch with a window on the other side. Triple pillar arch, possibly. There are so many arches here, you can see arches through arches. Somebody up the game. Designated CG 40.
But now I can play my role, but my timing was perfect.
I heard that this arch was either called Dragon's Mouth Arch or Alligator's Teeth Arch. Both of which I guess seem appropriate. So besides this pillar arch here, there's some more openings up that way. Another arch we're seeing during our scramble.
There's an arch right there, and I'm not going to problem to get up to it to get a decent photograph.
During our scramble, here's another pillar arch. Here's that pillar arch we saw earlier from above. Here's another arch. Surprise, surprise. They're all over the place here. Looking back from where we just came from, there's this arch on the top of the formation. This may or may not be wind tunnel arch, but it's pretty spectacular. Whatever name it goes by. So this is supposedly wind tunnel arch.
May as well be.
Pillar arch, I just took pictures of. At the upper end of the formation that had what could have been wind tunnel arch, so we'll see. Same arch from the other side. Okay, once again, seeing an arch is an arch through another arch.
There you
go. So we're on the way to what we're calling Bighorn Sheep Arch, but in the meantime, there's this pillar arch that we just walked past, or about to walk past. And Bighorn Sheep seems to be appropriate because there are a lot of droppings in this formation. So one of the leaders called this Bighorn Sheep Arch, and that section there seems to be appropriate. But it's a thin fin of rock that's got holes all through it.
Find out asking which tool is you asking? I don't know.
Lots of erosion in that formation. One of the things we didn't realize about this arch is what a thin fin it is in. Other side. Thin fin with lots of holes in it. There's our arch on the horizon, closer up.
explanation of that is, useful fusion is 20 years away and it always will be.
No, this
So
stuff
looking back from
is permanently adhered to your clothes.
up there, there's a spindle looking thing. And a pillar arch. So this has got some complexity to it.
To get very close.
Pillar down there and then an opening that way. Seeing an arch through an arch. The other side of the arch I was just looking at. A couple of baby arches here and over there. So from that arch you've been seeing all day, there's this complex one right here. All kinds of openings all through it. Maybe not that one there so much, but that arch from the other side. Pillar arches in this formation. So from kind of the middle of this pillar assemblage, there's two there, and a third one here. And there's a nice long slender arch, possibly. On the way back to our cars, double arch. And these look like they could be elephant legs to me, so I called this, or referred to it as elephant leg arch. Yeah, these arches here frequently show a lot of complexity in their formation. And this is an example. Got a pillar. It opens up that way going straight through, and then there's this opening up here. We're within sight of the cars, which we kind of were all day anyway, but there's another arch to finish off the trip with. And it looks like a possible arch right in there. So once again, they are all over the place. Another pillar type arch. Right there. Back into the alcove. Okay, here's a pretty deep alcove with a pillar and an opening. Bathtub arch, according to David Alexander.
That was the winter that was. What's that? Yeah. 76 was the winter.
So this is apparently called bathtub arch.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So here's more of bathtub arch, a little farther down. A pillar here. And looking down. Another arch with a burr and pillar. And open on the other side.
I think that's the one we saw in the skyline when we started.
So there's what I've been calling a skyline arch just because it's on the horizon from where we started. Here's an arch.
Okay, it's an arch. I would say.
So we're looking back to the cars. day 3 of the 2023 Spring Arch Rally by the Natural Arch and Bridge Society. I refer to this arch as Elephant Leg Arch because of those 2 pillars. Actually, they're combined. But there's an opening there, opening out that way, and here. Although the official hike for the day was over with, I remembered that Robert Vreeland in his volumes Nature's Bridges and Arches described an Elephant Rock 2, which was near the east entrance to Valley of Fire State Park. So I and most of the other group went to see Elephant Rock 2 and do some more arch hunting. So here's Elephant Rock 2 from the backside, looking back toward the park road.
Crystals. I've broken up a few, some other volcanoes and solid crystals all the way through. It just varies a lot. You can tell by the weight which ones are.
So this is the alcove I remember hiking to after Elephant Rock 2. Got openings all over the place.
Yeah, right. Well, it's like that it got cracked. Exactly. That's the way I've always interpreted things like this.
Here's a pillar arch near Elephant Rock 2. So there's Elephant Rock 2 from the other side. And there are a whole bunch of arches out this way. The place is full of them. So here's a nice baby arch in the Elephant Rock 2 area. But all these pillar arches all over.
This item was never glaciated. Never covered by glaciers because the continual faults are recognized as small mammals. The small mammals could live in glaciers. And I'm thinking,
Okay, this is showing a little bit of complexity. There's the flat one I was just photographing. Other side. Another arch. Double pillar, yes, in the there's a little baby. Near the double pillar arch that just shadows up there. Double pillar. And more openings. And of course it also opens up that way, of course. Nice flat arch. So here's a nice arch near Elephant Rock 2. You could camp in this thing. The arch forms your roof.
earthy enough by the time I get there, I'll be really
Okay, last of our bonus arches before we turn around. One more before we turn around and head back. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you in the next one.